What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 50K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
What was Katt Williams' upbringing like? Your parents were Jehovah's Witness. You were a prodigy. You were brilliant. You talked to me that you got accepted to college at 7 years of age. You could read fluently at 3 years of age. So having that kind of knowledge, having that kind of prodigy, what was your upbringing? How was it? How was life as Katt Williams coming up?
I was often confused because I knew things and I wasn't sure how I knew them. I knew things that I felt like I don't have a reason that I know this, but I love to read. I was voracious because they told me when I was young that knowledge was powerful. That knowledge was power, and I had studied powerful people, and I really believed that. I immediately. My next project was to read the whole encyclopedia set. So when you're like 6, 7 years old, you read the whole encyclopedia set. You think you're one of the smartest people in the world, right. Only to get out in the world and find out you don't know anything. You know, so it was a confusing time. But yeah, I had a childhood. I was grown, but I at 5 years old, I was in front of 10,000 people giving a performance with a full suit and tie on. So it came full circle.
That's like
for my life. I knew that the applause and the giving of information and laughs and truth to people somehow benefited them and also benefited you. And yeah, so when they would ask me what I wanted to be, everything that I would say that I wanted to be was something that didn't exist. And they would never give me credit for it because I needed to say a doctor or a lawyer, but that's not what
something
I wanted
that fit the time.
So your parents weren't as supportive as you would have hoped because you were wanting to be things when you got older that they had no knowledge of or it didn't exist at the time.
Right.
No, it wasn't that. It was... I'm saying I'm almost 100 years old right now, but if we go outside right now, I can run a 4.340 or sub. I can do a 4.16 if I'm
Oh, there's Jimmy John's across the street. We can order a sub.
But
you've been on the submarine. That what you sub?
So back then it was even greater. So you got this guy that all the coaches want to play.
Man, Katt, don't do that.
Hold on, because I'm 5'5" in the 5th grade. I've been this high my whole life. Like there was a portion of school where I was one of the big dudes. Like as soon as everybody caught their growth spurt, I was out of it. But I'm saying I was a competitive individual. My father was an athlete.
I can see that.
Like, no, I've been 145 pounds my whole career. That's why I never bothered when they said, your Katt's on drugs. I knew, how you gonna prove that? My body is a temple.
I've been the same size since I was 10.
Like, what do you? Yeah, like I haven't changed off this pivot foot. This has always been who I was before stand up or anything. But it was an interesting childhood. I appreciate my parents, even though I couldn't live within the religious frameworks of what they had set up. But that was more not wanting to live a double life and not want to embarrass my family. You know what I mean?
Because I read where a form of punishment for you is that they would take books because you mentioned you were such a voracious reader. And a form of punishment was when they would take the books for them because you could read fluently. You told me how.
As well.
Wow.
And like to take books from a child.
Yeah.
To discipline a child.
Yeah.
Lord, that's different. Why are they always attacked with your love?
Because that's your form of punishment. Because
that's
if
crazy.
They do something else, it's like, okay, let's say they take the PlayStation from you. Okay.
I don't play it.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna bother me none.
So they took the books from. It makes me think of somebody in the media.
Somebody.
I can't think of it, but throughout watching these interviews, I have gained a newfound respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because when you listen to a person speak, you can know a lot about them.
Yeah.
With the things that they say and the things that they don't say.
Yeah.
And I feel that he's in his purpose. Obviously, he's, 52, something like that?
Somewhere around there.
He's in his purpose, and he's been in his purpose all his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, I just had to put that out there. Like, you can't watch this whole interview and not feel that.
Nah, I feel you 100%. And I would just love to mention being married to a Virgo. You know what I'm saying? Virgos are realists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're real individuals. They really take life by the horns, and they really, embrace what it is that's happening at that very moment. They don't sugarcoat much. So I can really see the energy that he's displaying, and how you can mention that he's that you have a new level of respect for him. It's like, because you get to see how real he is when it comes to deep conversations, and he don't try to sugarcoat nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's a Virgo out the wood. Cause
down to earth. He's intentional, and he's slow to speak.
Gotta be slow to speak. That's important.
Doing these reactions be having me out of my element sometimes, because you can't be pausing for so long, before you get your thought out. So that kind of, being slow to speak. But I do want to make this note, because I feel like we've been getting a lot of new people because of the Katt Williams interview, and a lot of people don't know us. And they'll, this is our second reaction channel.
Yeah, shout out to our intro.
But, I don't think y'all know our format yet. So, sometimes we may not pause on something because we agree on it.
Yeah.
But we'll address, something that we need y'all help with getting us to understand. So, just work with us. Okay?
Yeah,
Don't always think that we are not understanding what's going on.
Help us continue. I'm sorry.
On YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, help us continue to build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what this platform is. We're on the road to 50K.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, we have other channels as well.
Right.
And when it comes to knowledge and information about these videos that we're watching with you all, you have to understand that, like you mentioned, I feel like I'm just repeating everything you just said. Like you mentioned, we cannot target every word that's being said in these conversations. It just won't be realistic for us, because we want to have you guys to enjoy the platform as much as we are too when we're listening. Right. And you just got to build with us, man. That's what we're doing. We're learning as we go, just like y'all is. Right,
because if you wanted to go watch the video for yourself, you could do that.
Yeah, we put it in the description box.
Together.
Just to let y'all know where it's at.
All right.
4 years old, you could read. Not just a little child's book, but you could read.
Well, I'm saying when we go to Haiti to do missionary work, understand that my mother and my father, nobody that's there with us speaks French. And it speaks Creole and reads French. So I'm in charge of everything, from the housing to the cars to the gardener. I'm saying, so I'm not just reading, I'm reading in multiple languages. I'm probably reading 3,000 books a year from the time that I'm
3,000?
8 years old to the time that I'm 12.
3,000?
No.
8 to 12. Throughout the
Oh,
framework of an 8-year-old all the way up to 12, I have read about 3,000 books.
3,000.
That's what I want to say. I don't see 3,000 a year.
Oh, that's a lot, and I'm an avid reader.
Yeah.
3,000.
That's life.
8 to 12.
That's life in a box if you're doing that for a year.
But you never know, because how he's describing his childhood, it sounds like he was at home a lot.
Hey, I ain't gonna say it's not possible, but it's just
that's a lot.
It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, especially on the kid.
That's why, when I say that he was slow to speak, he didn't say everything that happened, and it sounded like it was a super religious household.
Yeah, exactly.
So. Yeah.
Oh, no fiction books at all.
That's
I'm
hard.
only reading nonfiction.
That's hard, yeah.
You could drive. At 12, you received a full scholarship to the National Science Academy in Dayton, Ohio. But you failed, so you would become ineligible. Why didn't you want to take that opportunity?
I didn't see it as an opportunity. When I got in there, all the students were wearing lab coats, and it seemed very confined and restricted, and nobody seemed like they were having fun. It just seemed like everybody was smart. I didn't want that. That wasn't what I was signing up for at all. And plus, I thought that I was Jesus was my big homie. So you know how you get a story about a dude joined a gang and you get a big homie, right? Like at this particular point in my life, my thought is that the Bible is the greatest book that's ever been written.
Okay.
That it houses the truth, and that it gives you this story of Jesus, and that I'm supposed to be like him.
Okay.
So it's already in my head that as soon as I get 13, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
Oh,
dope.
he really want to be like Jesus.
Golly.
You at 13, you don't only leave like, okay, mom, I'm moving out. You moved from Ohio to Florida on your own. You weren't afraid. I mean, you like, did you?
Hold on.
Did you not have? So what were you going? So what were you going to do when you got to Florida?
Don't say I wasn't afraid. There's no such thing as a human being of not being afraid.
Okay.
There are certain human beings that understand that being afraid in no way stops you from doing what you got to do.
Okay.
So
yeah, definitely.
I was afraid, but I couldn't be that afraid because I knew what had happened with Jesus. I knew how it worked out. I knew that I wasn't in the wrong with how I was feeling, and I knew that I didn't have any bad intentions in it.
Right.
So I trusted God that it would work out.
Why Florida?
Because if you're raised in Ohio, the one thing on your list is, I'm going to get away from snow, and I'm going to get as far. I want to go. Tell me the place. I literally went to a truck stop, and I asked all the truck drivers where they was going. And there was one guy going to California, and there was one guy going to Florida, and they told me how long it was going to take. And so that's why I ended up in Miami, because...
How'd you get there? You caught a bus? Or
no, I just told you. I was at the truck stop. I got in. I didn't hitchhike. I got in the back of the dude's 18-wheeler. Me and my Rottweiler puppy and my suitcase. Yeah, because
That's crazy.
I probably had $2,500 on me. Like I was shoveling snow and cutting grass. Like I always had pockets full of money.
When did you make the decision that you were going to leave Ohio and go somewhere? And it ended up being Florida. So, but when did you know that you were leaving Dayton, Ohio, going to Florida?
In my father and I's last interaction, somebody could have not made it. And we both understood that was all bad.
That don't
what was
sound
the
good.
disagreement about?
If you say that my family is very religious, just say I'm not. So anything that I'm going to do is going to fall out of the guidelines.
Right.
The lifestyle.
It sounds like you want to go out with basically saying that this is Dad's house.
Yeah.
His parents' house. You know what I'm saying? And like the guidelines, basically crossing that and not following the rules and walking that line.
Yeah.
If you don't walk that line, you can't walk in this. You can't be in this house.
Right. And you know, relationships, toxic relationships with the father-son toxic relationship. You know, anything could happen. You know, so.
Because you're not 13 with you. You smelling yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, you think you got hair on your chest now?
He had a plan.
That's crazy.
He executed.
I mean, that's a good question to ask. Like, when was that? Like, thought, like, when did it really click for you to say, I gotta get out of here? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a good question to ask.
In Florida. It could happen in Florida.
All the way to Florida.
It could happen in Florida.
But I'm not going to let you tell me what I'm going to be, especially if what you're saying is wrong.
Ooh.
I can't condone wrong. And if I find out that something is wrong and I tell you it's wrong and you don't back me, that's what it is.
Even as a young child, you were willing to tell your parents that some of the things that you're saying doesn't coincide with what I've been reading in the Bible.
No. Very simply, don't try to disfellowship me for sexual acts and I'm a virgin. Sorry, God don't make mistakes. You don't get 2 times to fuck me over. What do you mean you went to God and he told you I was guilty? You just lied on God. So long. That's it. There's no conversation. Deuces. That's what it was.
That's when you made the decision. After that conversation right there, you say, nah, I can't live under this roof.
It wasn't a conversation. It was an altercation. In the altercation, I love my father. My father loved me. But we are 2 men at it. That
don't sound good.
It'll never be the same again. You can't sleep comfortably around me. And I can't sleep comfortably around you.
How similar are you to your father?
That's a good question.
I don't know. He's a great man. I'm saying...
because it seems like y'all butted heads.
Right, but I'm saying that generally happens with a father-son dynamic. It was just that religious relationships are always difficult in families. And they always are.
Before it got to the point, because the dynamic, he's father, you're son. Before that dynamic and you step up on his level and you challenge him, you felt it was best for you to leave.
No. I'm not being challenged. I'm being beat to death.
Oh, he was abusive.
I didn't say that.
I'm confused,
I said
Katt.
we were in an altercation.
I see what you did there.
You making him reach.
I saw what you did there, Katt.
I think I made a mention about him once. What I said that he would let you he would open the door and let you just walk on in with whatever it is you thinking and let you speak your mind as much as possible. And then he likes to come back and do a little sweep on the floor, let you know where you miss a spot at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Shannon really trying to get in there.
Yeah,
he's really trying to figure it out.
This, like, when you're speaking to him, you have to be listening to what he's saying to catch everything.
Yeah, because he just reverted this whole thing back. He said, I ain't say that happened.
Listen, I knew of Shannon before this. I knew of him being a football player and all that because of my dad and things like that. And I've seen him do that thing that went viral with the do-rag or something like that. Something. But I've never watched anything.
Yeah.
Until recently.
Yeah.
I like him as an interview. I like him in this space. Like,
yeah.
I like this. He's doing good.
Feel that.
Yeah. I saw what you did. You was in an altercation. You didn't say you lost. You said you was in an altercation.
I in no way gave you the impression that I won anything. I'm the one leaving.
He said he got beat.
I'm out of bounds.
Yeah.
This is his house.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as I'm going to be under his roof, there are certain things that I'm going to have to do.
Right.
And the only way that's going to change is either this or that. And I'm saying I had two younger brothers. Like, I'm not an unreasonable person. Like, I don't have any mental issues whatsoever, despite what they lead people to believe. You know, I make pretty good decisions.
Were you not... so how was their relationship with your father? Were you not afraid to leave them?
Well, I asked because it went all the way to the actual department, so it was actually going to be something.
Department.
And when I asked them if they could just make sure that my brothers didn't get separated and what have you.
It was bad.
They said they couldn't make those type of guarantees, that they weren't really sure what would happen if this went down. And so part of leaving was the hope that it would be okay for them, because none of them experienced what I experienced. I'm
13, y'all.
Yeah, he was at 13, so it makes sense why he said department.
13. This is a different time. And we can go into some stuff, y'all, but we not. Like, I feel like we tell y'all just enough for y'all to know enough. We don't tell y'all our personal business, but
yeah.
Child.
Saying I'm the oldest, it's a lot riding on me. I'm supposed to at least religiously hold down the family's name at this household.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How much older are you than the baby and the knee baby?
Like, a lot older. Like, if I'm...
13.
Yeah, they're 5. And... in Pampers.
Wow. You go to Florida. You tell the story. I've heard you were homeless, and somebody else told the story, said they were homeless, and you said they hijacked your story. Now I don't. Hey,
I ain't never heard nothing like that in my life.
At 13, I shouldn't have to tell you I'm homeless. I'm in Miami, Florida. I have no family members in Florida.
Did he just say that? Did he just say somebody hijacked his homeless story? That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's a homeless story. That's crazy, bro.
Couldn't buy a house if I wanted to. I couldn't get an apartment if I wanted to. I don't have a credit history. Like, This is not a stretch for me to say that I'm homeless. I'm living in a park in Coconut Grove. The park still exists to this day. For 8 hours a day, I would get up and go to the library and study for 8 hours a day to increase my education. And then I would leave out of there and go to the marina and steal car radios and make $2,000 almost daily. Like, I had a routine.
So you really could have played that Santa old thief and Santa Claus. You could have played.
No, the Santa Claus wasn't a thief. The Santa Claus, you can't tell me. I read the script. Ricky Smiley told you he didn't read the script. The Santa Claus was a crackhead. He just had that outfit on. That's what I couldn't have played.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't have played a black guy that got raped in the bathroom.
Right. So at any point in time, you're like, man, I made a mistake, man. I should have stayed my butt in Ohio, man, because this ain't what I signed up for.
I didn't experience anything once I left home that I hadn't signed up for. If anything, it saved my life. Me being homeless for that small period of time allowed me to see all of the people that were in that situation and to see that these were lawyers and doctors and teachers, and that these people were white and black and Asian and Indian, and the only thing that all of these homeless people had in common was they made a bad decision and aligned themselves with drugs. And I interviewed them all. What drug? What? And guess what, Shannon? Nobody had a great story. Nobody had a great story of what meth had done for them, what crack had done for them, what cocaine had done for them, what heroin had done for them, what speed had done for them. Nobody had them stories. Everybody's story was, I had my life together. And then I decided to do this dumb thing. And I lost my wife, I lost my house, I lost my cars, I lost my reputation, and I'm now out here sucking penis in the woods. What? Talk about scared straight. You ain't got to worry about me. If it ain't weed or nicotine, you won't see me touching it. I don't want no parts. I done seen what these things can do to people. Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Heard that.
Have you ever thought about what your life would have been had you stayed in Dayton, Ohio?
No. That's like asking somebody that's in the NBA for 14 years, like, what would have happened if you didn't come to the NBA? Oh, I shudder to think. I thought it was what I was made for. I thought it was what I was built for. Anybody that knows me will tell you that when they first met Katt Williams, when I was Cat in the Hat, and they tell these stories about how he changed his name. Look, the truth of the matter is Disney sued me.
Cat in the Hat is
I was
crazy.
Cat in the Hat.
What?
They sent me a cease and desist letter, and I'm not even making $25,000 a year. And the mega company Disney has sent me a cease and desist telling me I can't use any variations of that name. Fine, I'm Katt Williams. That's all that happened. I have been this same product the entire time. They will tell you when they first saw me doing stand-up, I was just like this. This is what I bring. This is my style.
I read that you was raised in Florida. You had some help, some ladies of the night.
No.
That's not true.
No, that whole story doesn't take place in Florida. That story takes place in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So after I'm in Florida, I then join, I try to join the Marine Corps, and they won't accept me because I'm too young, and I've lied and told them I'm 16 and my family's moving down. I don't have my ID, but it's coming. And so they let me go to the boot camp. That's not going to work now. Okay, so I've learned that lesson. So then I get this job selling stuff door to door. Across the country. And so I've been to all 50 states. Again, I'm 14 years old. So I did that. While I'm doing that, one of the places I'm at, I'm in Oklahoma. And I've decided I'm going to stay here because of meeting these ladies that you're talking about and that situation. I don't know at the time why that's important in my life or why it's something I should be doing or any of that. But now later on, it certainly helps me in formulating Money Mike for Friday After Next.
Right.
And Pimp Named Slickback for the Boondocks.
Slick.
In San Francisco, you joined the Nation.
I was ever in San Francisco. I was in Oakland.
You was in Oakland. Did you join the Nation? Is that?
Yeah, Honorable Minister Farrakhan and I have an extremely close relationship. He refers to me as one of his sons. So, yeah, I spent a particular period of time. Let me explain.
Oh, they're going to take that.
Because my particular background was already religious and super strict, right? I didn't find out about other religions by reading about them. I went to their religion.
That's the best way.
I don't want to learn from Jewish people from outside. I want to be in a synagogue. I don't want to learn about Muslim people from, I want to be in a mosque. I don't want to hear about the Baptist or the Pentecostal. I want to go to their church and see. And so that was the religious discovery that I was on through that period in my life.
I think that's the
Yeah,
that's the wrap, man.
Wow.
What a story, bro.
For real.
Just gained a new level of respect because of a new level of knowledge. Never knew he went through all that.
All right, he took us through a lot. I'm speechless. I can't even comment on it. Y'all know I like to talk. In the words of Sierra, I am full. I'm full. Y'all, I don't have nothing more to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen again to it, you know what I'm saying, you can always pull information from it to help you whatever journey you're on. That's the best I can say right now for it. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, I do want to talk about the homeless part. Until you're in that situation, you'll never know what that's like for people in the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking on the routine, like how he said everything, his routine of going to the library and then after, he went to do whatever, then he interviewed the people.
Right.
Homeless people are not just out here just wasting their lives away. They have a routine. They're some of the smartest people you'll ever meet. And I'm saying that because growing up in New Orleans, that's all I was around. I wasn't homeless in New Orleans, but that was all I was around. And so I always had a great level of respect. And if you're not new to us, you already know we do a lot of work with the homeless community. And we've shared some stuff and a lot of things we keep to ourselves because it's not really for the public.
Nope.
So...
yeah, that's what it is.
Katt Williams, made my year. I responded to somebody the other day, and they was talking about Lauryn Hill had got booed on the Apollo, and it was like,
oh yeah, I seen that.
I said, I am a supporter of a few, but a fan of one, and it's Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know where I was going.
Nah, that's because I remember that conversation. Apollo was tough.
Yeah,
and we needed people to grow tough skin. You know what I'm saying? If you went back to that, type of environment, knowing that you got booed, they expecting you to come hit harder. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. And for Katt, being that he was so young, he was already building that tough skin.
Yes. 13.
13 is wild, bro.
And he didn't even get super detailed. And I'm glad that he didn't get super detailed. Because, baby, write that book.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it's going to be at.
We don't even know... the ins and outs of went on in his house. And I'm still where's his mom?
That's the tip of the iceberg, man.
Yeah, what happened with that? He went through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why I went back to that. I'm a fan of Lauryn Hill and Katt Williams. I gotta learn more about him now.
Yeah, I heard that, yeah.
I don't call myself a fan of nobody but Lauryn Hill. I'm not a fan. I'm a supporter. I'm not a fan. But this, just the ins and outs. And I know that this interview... A lot of people deem this as, oh, that's what's wrong with black people now. Them people spoke on him first before he said a word. So it just so happened that he just aired everybody out. Too many people.
Nah, real talk.
You
just got to have a right headspace when you're listening to certain information. Yeah. It's not about it's not an attack.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always, people come in rooms with a broom all the time. Or some people come in the room with trash all the time. You got to pick which person you're going to be.
Right.
And that's just how it is. He came in the room with the broom, a big one. Come on, man. He just started sweeping.
The worst you can do.
Sweeping it up.
The worst you can do is come for intellectual.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.